Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And as you guys know, if a video hits 1500 likes within 24 hours, we're giving away 250 XRP, and all you have to do is make sure you press the like button, make sure you are subscribed, and make sure you comment something down below. Having said that, I have also made a Patreon and shared the first couple of things. As you can see right on here, one will have my portfolio and some cool updates to that. The other one has some extra videos where I explain some coins which could go crazy next week and all that type of stuff. I think it's really interesting, but just come check it out if you want to. Once more, you don't have to, but it's an option now. Having said that, AvaTrade IPO, XRP Relist, Bitcoin outflows, and Tesla. Well, the most interesting part out of all of this, obviously, is considering or regarding XRP. There's two parts of that one being about the hashtag RelistXRP, and the second one talking about XRP as a bridge currency, and both are interesting, yet when they're kind of summarized in articles like this, it is only useful for the people that do not update themselves regularly, otherwise they're most likely outdated or useless. Because what we know about the hashtag RelistXRP movement is that it was big, it went trending on Twitter for a little while, but there were quite a lot of hiccups. And a lot of people have said, well, we are waiting for a Coinbase relisting, waiting for a Binance, and then the price is going to go crazy, which is most likely true. If one of these exchanges does decide to relist, it would be quite crazy. However, John Deaton, a lawyer, and some other guys in the United States have come up with some statements regarding XRP's relisting, as there's just contradictory evidence. Some places and some lawyers say, well, there's almost no way that exchanges won't relist it. And then some other lawyers are on the exact opposite page saying the SEC statements are not, or I should say the SEC's attorney statements are not fully transparent. They're kind of hiding something. And so these contrasting views make it very difficult for me as well as a content creator to give you guys a very good idea of what I personally think. Because what I'm thinking here is really based on what these guys have told me. And since there's two really contradictory views, I'm just saying let's wait for it. We all know if XRP gets relisted, huge boost in price, but we don't know if it is going to. Having said that, XRP mom, we're seeing the unfollow. All right, we unfollow back. Even if Coinbase relists XRP, I won't pay them another dime. Only thing I use that platform now is to buy USDC, 0 fees, then transfer it to another account to trade. There's far better options for coin exposure than Coinbase. I legit will never trade on their platform again. And she is saying that like it's going to hurt Coinbase, which is kind of like whenever you go into the grocery store, you get angry at them. And you're like, oh, I'll never shop at this store again. They don't care about you even a little bit. Even if 400 people stop trading, yeah, Coinbase is definitely not going to care about, the couple $1,000s a month, which that would most likely earn them. Unless there's one multi-billion-dollar whale amongst us, but most likely there is not. And thus, they probably don't care. It's only about the goodwill, right? Whenever they were to fix an issue like this. But in this case here, all they can really do is apologize, and that they will not do. So what can we say here? What can we do? Nothing, right? You definitely have to quit Coinbase altogether if you are angry at them for stopping to list XRP, but then you're going to be angry with most of the platforms because most exchanges did relist it for a little bit. So that's a very hard pill to swallow, but also a very difficult issue to fix. On a good note, state-owned Banco Hipotecario of El Salvador revealed as a new Ripple customer. The annual report of El Salvador Banco's Hipotecario reveals that the state-owned bank, which is a really important detail right there, it is a state-owned bank, started using the RippleNet for real-time cross-border payments. Thinking crypto may shed light on the question of how many partners Ripple actually has at the moment, and I would say there's really no good, at least no good estimate as of this point. So let's see here, right? I just scheduled my interview with Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse for next month. What questions would you like me to ask him? I really wonder how this guy gets all these freaking interviews, which is really, really nice. Not going to dispute that, but I do wonder how he does it. And would you like me to have interviews on this channel too? The only con is I guess I don't have a face, and that might be very annoying if I want to interview these guys with only one side showing their face. That might be very bad. But I'm thinking about it though. I'm thinking about just sending a lot of emails around and seeing who replies, right? If I just ask 50 people, most likely one of them will say yes. So hey, I could maybe give it a shot. Let me know what you think down below. Leonidas said, as a response, how many customers does Ripple currently have? Have they lost any customers after the SEC news broke out? Well, and how many of them are using XRP? How come they changed their website from 300 plus customers to 3 times year-over-year customer growth, and what does that mean exactly? Because there were two really interesting ideas. One was that they've actually spurted in growth so much and they want to surprise, basically for hopefully a really big breakthrough just before IPO. The other one, which I saw a lot of people talk about as well, is that they've lost customers. Right now, don't have 300 plus customers anymore. They've most likely got 200 something, and so they've taken that down. Why? Well, Ripple has stated that they're really expanding quite gravely, quite harshly. They still got more customers every single week than they actually anticipated and that they had before the whole lawsuit came about. So from that perspective, well, you would think that it would have grown as well, that they'd most likely be close to 400 now. However, we don't know how many they actually lost as well. We only know how many new ones they've gained. But that is, of course, a crucial part missing because, well, if you gain 20 but lose 60, yeah, you'll still not have 300 customers anymore. So that's definitely a difficult one as well. And I would really, really like him to answer that one too. So all I can do, I guess, is just press the like button on this one and hope that a question like that is going to be answered because I do think that would be interesting. There we go. Then 72 million XRP shifted by Ripple's ODL Cord or Bitstamp and other top crypto exchanges. I've already told you, but I'm going to say it once more, guys. If any YouTuber, if any influencer tells you this is really important, really interesting, really yada, 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 they're lying to you for views, for exposure, for something like that, because really, it does not matter. I've explained to you multiple times before how I used to be really obsessed about Ripple's ODL volume. We used to be really excited when something changed. Used to be really excited about any movement. But in this case here, for a lot of these transfers, we don't know who is really doing the transferring. We don't know really what the transfer is for. And we don't know whether or not it's actually a good, amazing, or bad thing even. We have no freaking clue. So to really go and speculate on this, it makes no freaking sense to me. It's like just... It's really just gambling at this point. You're gambling on something big that happened because you have no idea whether or not that is true. Even the person writing this article here knew. He had nothing good to say, so he just put a couple of sentences together, boom, pressed post in the article. There's nothing with real insight. There's nothing really important inside. Then SEC Ripple lawsuit, what will the impact of the judgment be on XRP? That's actually a question I get very often too. What do I think will happen to XRP if they win or lose, or what do you think? So I should quickly summarize. If Ripple loses this lawsuit, there's actually multiple degrees in which they could lose. I've already explained before, XRP being considered a security is worst case scenario. However, that is not the worst case scenario for the whole lawsuit, because the lawsuit is against Ripple. And for Ripple, the worst case scenario, I believe, would be XRP gets considered a security, which once more would be worst case scenario for us. Ripple gets a huge fine, and Ripple's CEO and the chairman of the board, Chris Larsen, both get jail time, something like that, for fraud, which would be worst case. It's not the official charge they've gotten, but after more investigation, all of a sudden, boom, they might add charges, something like that, and all of a sudden they're charged for fraud. That would be worst case. I've read some articles and some reports which state that the worst case following different lawsuits from the past would actually not really be that bad of a thing for Ripple nor XRP. But for us, once more, as I said before, worst case is XRP a security, which if you read and read into it a little bit and look a little bit, you know that that's really unlikely. If XRP really is deemed a security, it really makes no sense because whatever they can say, they can only say about XRP in the past. Because XRP right now, following almost any metric, is not an investment contract anymore. However, if you want to talk about XRP in the past, once more, you have a very fair point. I'm not going to lie about that. Same thing how you have a very fair point if you talk about Ethereum being security at one point or another. So that is, again, a very big question that you have to pop up here. What do you think about that? Do you think the SEC will just, go very deep inside their nose with one finger in the butt and just think of something, just something completely random and be like, you know what? XRP security because we say so. Makes no sense, but let's just do it anyway. If that's the case, then XRP will most likely go down in value for a good while. Will most likely be a very low price. I'm calling 6 cents, 1 cent, something like that, just something stupid, because most people will lose their faith. Now, last time they got charged, it only went to 17 cents because there were a ton of people who still believed in it, like I did. However, if they really lose the lawsuit and XRP is considered a security, the people in the US are going to have some trouble, and the people in the rest of the world, of course, will not. However, the faith in Ripple will be kind of let down for a little bit because, well, even though people understand it might be a conspiracy, they might want to hurt Ripple on purpose, it's just going to be really bad for the way that people view XRP, because then all those guys saying it's security were right. That's going to really sting. So that's what I'm saying, 6 cents, maybe something like that, which from eventually it will pick up again, but it definitely will not be a number 2 coin for a very, very good while, as they have to pick up again from rock bottom. It's going to be a very long process for that one. And if they I guess, win on the department of XRP not being a security, we will most likely see a huge surge in price, once more expecting a $3 to $5 as kind of a minimum, because that's kind of the value it hit in the previous bull run. In this case here, we would say if this happens in a bull market where Bitcoin is going green and things are doing well, we'll most likely see a 5 to 7. If it's in a bearish market, though, we'll most likely see about a $2 to $3, because once more, people will be really bullish. However, it will be kind of neglected by Bitcoin's downfall. Well, but that also depends. If Bitcoin is going down in a bullish type of market, once more, XRP will still be within, let's say, $3 to $5. If Bitcoin is going down in a bear market, then XRP will most likely be $1, $2, something like that. Now, let's say $2, $2.50, I'm thinking, something like that. And I think that's all scenarios, at least the most common ones. It's just basically think about it. If bear market is going on, there will be a lower price than if there's a bull market. And if Bitcoin is going down, there will be a lower price than if Bitcoin is going up on about those days. However, yeah, it will most likely deviate quite a lot from the normal market, yet it's always going to be tied to how bullish people are on crypto and how much interest there is in crypto as of that point. Moving on, Ripple pitches new role for XRP holders as SEC refuses clarity for secondary market. This is really interesting because I'm going to be talking about this more in detail a little bit later. Ripple's lawyer are pitching John Deaton and XRP holders a new way to be involved in a lawsuit against SEC if the intervention is rejected. This part we already talked about yesterday, but what this all means. The SEC's response letter regarding the pre-motion to intervene fails to indicate that it intends to provide clarity for the secondary XRP market, which is what they're all talking about right now. And once more, we'll talk about that a little bit later today, going a little bit more in depth, as I think that's a really interesting point and it really makes no freaking sense. By the way, this is not allowed, I think, huh? Advertisements like this, I don't think you can even put signals in an ad like that. So that's really odd that they've done that. But I guess because it's a crypto website, maybe they don't care. But putting signals in your ad, that's definitely against AFM or whatever freaking monetary guy that's on their asses. Maybe the advertising agency in the United States, whatever the frick this website is based. Maybe it's freaking India. I don't freaking know. You guys get the picture. This stuff is not allowed. Please don't click it. Please don't go for it. This type of stuff. They could definitely be scammers. They could just be guys selling you something, making profit. But in these types of cases, I often just think like, yeah, if they really do got the knowledge and they really have an 80% win rate, from a certain perspective, they definitely don't need to sell you something. If you have a 60% win rate and you're doing good in trading, yeah, sometimes people will also want to sell you something, right? But if you really have a coin telling signal provider, really, not a technical analysis provider, but a signal provider, so you provide the signal and you win 80% of the time, then these guys would be so incredibly rich if they really were that certain. And since they're really selling you something still, I'm looking at them like, meh, unless they don't have enough money to really trade for themselves, they want to make more. But even then, how much can they really make from these signals? Let's say 100,000, 200, 400,000 a month, maybe at maximum. If they really are that good with an 80% win rate, then whatever amount of money per month, it really wouldn't be that much if you think about it. It's just for the certainty, I'm thinking, that they want to sell it for. And some people were most likely wondering, so why are you selling your portfolio? Why are you giving that out? You don't have to buy it. I actually talk about most of the coins I hold on the channel here. It's just kind of a support partially, and for the second part, so you have kind of some spreadsheets I'm making here, some spreadsheets I'm sharing. You can talk to me a little bit. You can actually ask me a couple of things. I will make updates on my portfolio here when I'm doing huge purchases, stuff like that. Just want to, kind of have a place to share that type of stuff as well. Because on YouTube, one of the interesting things and annoying things as well is how fast things go. So whenever I do an update, the next day, boom, all of a sudden things have changed, maybe drastically. Or how fast it goes when people, I guess, it's out. A part is that the information is outdated really quickly, but also a part is that you might see it in one video, and then I'm doing 2 other videos on that day, and you've forgotten about it altogether, right? Or you didn't really listen too much, or I've given contradictory views because I'm talking about so many cryptos altogether, or so many different ideas about one coin, you don't get the picture anymore. That's kind of my philosophy here. And the second one, the more expensive option, once more, you don't gotta get anything. I really don't care if you do or not. It's just if you want to, right? The option is there. I'm not gonna ask you to buy it. Whatever you want, you can do. Is purely because it's gonna be a lot of work for me to make those updates. So yeah, that is that. That's gonna be that. Norwegian billionaire who called for a Bitcoin ban turns into an investor. This is also something I really point out almost every single week. That is that all these bigger guys who are right now hating on Bitcoin will eventually turn to investors, eventually turn to the guys really kind of begging for adoption, begging for proper regulation. Norwegian billionaire Spetalen criticized Bitcoin for its alleged negative environmental footprint and has now turned into an investor. Spetalen's decision was influenced by Kjell Inge Rokke, who found CETA some weeks ago. And all I have to say about this one is, Told you so, and we'll keep seeing this happen. Almost every single week we see another billionaire or so just coming on in. Ray Dalio, most likely, eventually is also going to turn around. What is his name now? The big freaking gold bull? Peter Schiff? I think eventually he'll turn around as well. Unless his whole motive is to really shit on Bitcoin, get a lot of followers that way from the gold community, and then, make his money that way, because he's most likely making some money regardless. Yeah, whatever. It's interesting. It's all interesting in my opinion. That was it for today. Make sure you follow me over on Twitter, TheDustyBC. A link will be down below. Let me quickly show you guys here what my Twitter is looking like. It's freaking beautiful. All right, so go check it out, TheDustyBC. We're almost at 15K followers. I really think that is quite cool. Do you need to follow me? Well, no, of course not, but it might be something you would like. So go check it out. Links down below. I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. And also go check out GSX. A link is down below for that one too. First growth coin and a cool gold-backed crypto. Personally, have a couple $1,000s in it. It's 10 cents a coin, plus 5% bonus, plus 5% bonus for using my link. We can lose our money. We can mint a lot of money. We'll see.